Hey guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and horoscopes. How are we doing? Today I'm going to be doing a reading for all you guys born in the year of the rabbit. So welcome back all my beautiful bunny buddies. That was a bit of a tongue twister, wasn't it? Beautiful bunny buddies. Right, my beautiful bunny buddies. Let's shuffle these up and let's see what we've got for you this week. Is it going to be all doom and gloom, darkness and thunderstorms? Or are we going to have some rainbows and sunshine and all dancing in the meadow? Let's find out. Because it's touch and go with you rabbits. It's up and down, isn't it? We always seem to be coming back around like we're stuck in a constant loop. One day, potentially, you're going to be able to break out of that and we can actually get you moving forward. Obviously, it's not for every rabbit, but that's what the cards are saying is happening. So let's see how we're doing this week. And we stop there. And we take that one from the bottom. We take that one from the middle. We take that one from the top. What have we got? Okay, so we've got a black, white, black. Fair enough, we've got these two blacks here to kind of, sort of cast that shadow, but we do have a white in the middle, which, again, I say this in every video, but I will remind people that white isn't always all right, black isn't always an attack. It all depends on those compatibilities on the other side of the cards. However, we do need to take into an account that the black is that negative space, that negative cloud that's hanging around, and things could be better right now. And the way you see it, or the way things seem to be, is in this negative, doom and gloom, dark place. And that's just the perspective of things. What's dark and gloomy to you could actually be preferable to somebody else. So it is a matter of perspective. We've got that positive in there as well, but that just means things could be worse. I mean, yeah, okay, things are looking up, but it's almost like the equivalent of saying, yeah, okay, you're sitting in the mud and your shoes have been lost and, you've broken your arm and it's raining and basically all this bad stuff is happening. But hey, look on the bright side, at least you've got a coat on, or, at least, something good is there with you. Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It's not saying that your life is great, and it's not saying that your life is bad. Not everything is fantastic. Not everything is really, really bad. It's just, there could be things that are good to take from a negative situation, and there are some things that are negative to take away from a good situation. It's all about how you see it. Right. And how we're seeing it right now is from the perspective of you, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because when it comes to rabbits, they do get on fine with each other. So we have got compatibility there. However, there's a catalyst here. This is change. This is a shift. This is something is coming and something is moving in and pushing other things out the way. However, that rabbit catalyst card is graceful. It comes in with a bit of dignity and decorum. It comes in fast and quickly. Very quickly. You won't have a chance to prepare for it. It will just happen. Usually because, something's been said or something gets done without any anticipation, spontaneously, and because that's just the way the universe wants it to happen. So it happens. And that catalytic moment will then make other bits and pieces fall into place. The rabbit is very swift with this, so not many people have an issue with it. The biggest catalyst cards that we have are the more kind of brutal ones are the boar, because it can be quite, hard to swallow the changes that the boar brings in, but it is slow. So you have time to adapt. It's a very slow change. The sheep, however, is like somebody kicking down the door, throwing in a can of tear gas, running around with a baton, smashing the room up, flipping the tables, kicking everything to pieces while you're stood there crying with tear gas in your eyes, coughing and spluttering, trying to figure out what's going on. Before you've even been sort of informed, you're completely confused and just now utterly demobilized. It's a bit like that, as dramatic as that potentially is. But we got that rabbit catalyst card, and it is coming in, and it is in the negative. So usually you wouldn't have a struggle with this, but this shift, this change that is happening quite fast, and it's hard for you to keep up with. It is something that is, I don't want to say hurting your feelings, but it's offensive. I feel it's an offensive thing, or it's kind of insulted you. Potentially it's something like somebody's not spoken to you. The lines of communication haven't been open. There's no democracy or diplomacy here. There's no compromise. There's no sort of, sitting down and talking about these things or getting your point across, or even you taking in other people's point. It can go either way. Maybe you're not the great communicator. Maybe you're not listening. Or potentially it's you that's not being heard. Either way, it's lost in translation, and without that communication, things are sticky. Things are sticky, and that's going to make you feel uneasy. It is going to make you feel uneasy. But don't worry, things are going to slow down. We've got this pig card, which again is in your triangle. This is a good card for a rabbit. It's not a bad card at all. The pig card is that slow change we spoke about. So it could be brutal and it could, upset you a little bit, but it is going to be slow and start to bring in a bit more of an adjustment period. This time for you to make adaptations to what you do, or to evolve with it and grow with that change as that change sort of progresses. It is in the white as well, which means we are looking at a good thing. So that rabbit's going to bring in quite a big sort of, well, as I said earlier, that rabbit is going to bring in a catalyst, which is then going to make all these other little changes happen. Those changes potentially are going to be quite slow. At least the major ones are going to be quite slow to then start happening. And then you're going to start to realize that, hey, it's not all bad. These changes could actually be good, because these changes have meant that this has happened and that has happened, and now this is where I'm at with this opportunity or this chance to do something. So that pig card is actually quite good. The pairing of the rabbit and the boar, that is a star kind of partnership. This here and the rabbit and the boar, they are very, very kind of strong together, if that makes sense. They complement each other's strengths. So from these changes, I think you're going to be able to find the communication that you need. Conversation between a pig and a rabbit is very easy. They communicate very well. So I think eventually you're going to be able to process this stuff and you'll be able to actually voice it. And that could be potentially one of the positive things that comes from this initial change to begin with. It is going to push you, and it is going to happen quite quickly initially, but then we're going to slow down and the pace is going to come down. Potentially this is going to give you something to think about. It's definitely going to give you something to do. You're going to have to start working on something here now, because when changes happen and changes come in, everything is then different. Everything. Even if it's in a slight, smallest, almost unnoticeable way, it will be different. And when you respond or react or kind of, just sort of interact with these things that have now changed, you interact with them slightly different. And that could just be the simple attitude you have towards, I don't know, the vehicle that you bought that you absolutely loved, but now it's been 5 years and now you absolutely hate it and you want a new one, And now you could be in the process of going out there and looking for a new one. It could be as simple as that. These changes potentially are going to open up doors for you, but it is definitely going to give you stuff to think about. And then we're going to slow right down. We've got all catalysts here, and we've got that negative pig coming in. Again, not a bad card, but potentially things aren't going to go as quick as you want them to. Things are going to slow right down. So we've gone from one extreme to another. This change is big. I feel that this isn't even, a collection of changes. I feel this could be one big catalytic moment that is pushing in a major change in your life or in, the way you do things. Potentially a big thing is about to change, and it's going to happen small and it's going to happen fast, and it's going to be like a pinprick to a balloon. So the pin goes in, which is quick and fast, but the explosion of the balloon popping, that's what's going to happen. And the loud bang is going to take you by surprise. Then there's going to be mess to clean up with, obviously, with the broken balloon. And that is what this boar is then going to push in for you. But it's going to be so slow. It's almost like that balloon was filled with custard or filled with glitter. Glitter, that's a good example. The balloon was filled with glitter. So you pop in the balloon, the initial bang has startled you. You saw all the sparkly lights, which you thought, this is quite nice, actually. I could actually deal with this, all the sparkly glitter in the air. And then it's settled and you've realised, actually, this is now a ball ache because I've got to clean it up. So now you have to clean it up, or at least, in that metaphor, you're cleaning it up. But this could mean anything, this big catalytic moment, this big change, this big shift. You're not going to like the sort of the slowness of it, of how slow it sort of takes and comes in. It's going to be dragged out. like a healing wound, an infection that needs time to recover, and it's sore, and it's frustrating, and it's irritable, and it's, you know, you're just gonna end up getting frustrated, I think. But again, you just need to look at it from a practical point of view. You need to look at it from a kind of, what can you do to evolve with the change? What can you do to push forward with this? I'll be interested to find out next week when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the rabbit. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with a reading for the guys born in the year of the dragon and the snake, because it is, of course, Karmic Wednesday for those two karmic signs. If I don't see you then, I will see you next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Love and peace.